backlog, but I've prepared a list of missions for you. Open your iDroid.
Hospitalized in Dikelia, a British sovereign base area on Cyprus. It's part of British overseas territory that falls outside of Cypriot jurisdiction. You got moved from Cuba's Little America right into Cyprus's Little Britain.
Why Dikelia?
The UK and the US remain close allies. The last place Cypher would think to look for you is inside their own system. That's what kept you safe in British military hospital for 9 years. The safest place from a whale is inside its own belly. You were a regular Geppetto.
Well, it wasn't Pinocchio who led me out to safety. So who was that guy?
Cypher went so far as to attack British territory, burning their own ally. That's how badly they wanted you dead.
He said I was in a British military hospital. But the doctor had a Greek accent.
They hire locally. Easier to trust them. Dikelia is also home to Greek Cypriots, after all.
What about the Turks? They haven't returned to the south.
Not yet. The Cyprus dispute is still a long way from resolved. The country is just as split as it was in '74. Turkish Cypriots in the north, Greek Cypriots in the south. Between them, the Green Line, the UN established.
And Dikelia sits right on top of it.
It does. Part of the buffer zone between the two groups. Another reason it was the perfect place to hide you. Easy to spot any outsiders snooping around.
So how do things stand?
Last year, the Turks declared that the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is an independent state, though it's only Turkey that recognizes it. In the past, the Greeks and Turks lived side by side in the same villages. There are reasons to fight. Those came from the outside. Greece, Turkey, Britain, America, they all had their own stake in pitting the two sides against each other. But once you spark something like this, it's impossible to control. Both sides build up grudges like debt, without the foresight to see that each act of revenge just fans the flames, and then it's too late for other nations to rush in with peace talks. The embers keep on smoldering. Each nation's arrogance only breeds anarchy. The world is paralyzed by this hunger for revenge. Cyprus is no different. You're up.
We're changing ships?
We can't go sailing the Suez in a whaler.
The Suez Canal. When did they reopen it?
Not long after you were attacked. Once they finished sweeping it for mines after the Arab-Israeli conflict. Can you stand? We've got to transfer to a container ship for passage through the Suez. Our destination is Pakistan, Afghanistan's neighbor to the south. There, we disembark and head via Peshawar to the Zero Line, the border. We'll travel to the Khyber Pass by road.
And then?
We continue on horseback. Afghanistan's main roads are under Soviet control. We'll need to go around them. It'll be all narrow, winding paths through the mountains. We'll do better on horseback. It's a local guerrilla tactic. They use the higher ridges to avoid air recon. Miller told me about what happened in the Caribbean. Your men.
While the Soviets have indicated they are not participating in the Los Angeles Olympics, primarily because the United States has made no attempt to guarantee the safety of the Soviet Union's athletes, the United States is increasingly demonstrating the belief that the issue has nothing to do with its preparations, and in fact...
Ocelot. I hear they started calling you Shalashaska in Afghanistan. What's that about?
You know the term Sharashka? It's slang for a suspicious, hastily thrown together organization. The word became associated with a type of forced labor facility in the Soviet Gulag system. OKB scientists and engineers who'd been convicted of crimes were sent to a Sharashka for forced R&D. The Sharashkas were supervised by Lavrenti Beria of the NKVD, the secret police, under the official name 4th Special Department.
Forced research? That's not very different from what we do here.
Diamond Dogs is different. Everyone here believes in you. Regardless of where they came from or why they're here, they revere you. And they're fighting because it was their choice.
And if it wasn't, they'd leave?
Who knows? That's our reality here, whether it's real or not. If there's another truth, I don't want to know it. All that matters is that's the concept that's taken shape in their heads. The traces of a group ideology, our superstructure, to put it in Marxist terms.
All right. Go on.
Right. So anyway, at some point the enemy started calling me Sharashka. This was after the war in Afghanistan broke out. While I was keeping an eye on you in that hospital, I was also heading up interrogations here. The men I broke gave up their comrades and families, everything they wanted to protect them most. No real cause for it. I just let myself get caught up in the old Russian pride.
So Salt 2.
Zero created Cypher, an information network to tap into every corner of the globe. Woven together, the Soviet troops on the ground want to go home. Snake, I wanted to ask you about the man on fire. What do you remember from the hospital? Anything we can use?
Well, he took off the moment the sprinklers started up.
Sprinklers? The fire system?
And when he got sprayed with water from the burst pipe, it slowed him down.
When we escaped on horseback, he wouldn't cross the river either.
And then it started to rain. And he disappeared.
Water against fire. Is it that simple? I mean, it makes sense. It's just hard to believe it would work on a guy like that.
Doesn't plan to return to the field. Says he's going to stay here and focus on running things as XO. No surprise with his body in that state. But apparently he has no intention of wearing a prosthetic arm or leg, so he doesn't forget the pain, he says. By connecting your iDroid to the onboard computer, you turn the chopper into your own Aerial Command Center, or ACC.
probably all a walk in the park for you, but they should help you get back on your feet. I put the mission details on a cassette tape. Refer to it if you decide to accept the mission. We'll receive GMP for completing missions, and extracting soldiers and prisoners will boost our ranks. Building up Mother Base is the first step to achieving our goal.
To
If that
Afghanistan.
means wet work, so be it. We're gonna have to get our hands dirty. I hope you rested up, because we're not stopping. Not until the pain is gone. The future of Diamond Dogs is in your hands. We're counting on you, boss. Is a Spetsnaz detachment commander. Your orders are to take him out. With skills like his, it'd be a shame to waste him. But I'll leave the method up to you. Boss, make your way to Dishago Calais and eliminate the target.
Marker placed. Marker placed.
Say, boss, you seen many animals in the field? Truth is, an environmental NGO has asked us to remove wild animals from combat zones. If you have the time, can you extract some back here? There's a reward in it for us.
Marker placed. Marker placed. Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Start by heading for Deshago Calais. Check your map for the location. The target is camped out in that village, dressed as an ordinary soldier.
captured. You have arrived at your destination.
You gonna extract him? Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Check the target's VI on your iDroid. Check the target's VI, so you'll recognize his face.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
We can use compounds from plants to make medicine or poison for use in new weapons and equipment. Take a look at the plants list on your iDroid to see which ones we need. Then go find them if you get the chance. It'll keep the staff happy too.
You have arrived at your destination.
Whoa, whoa. Yeah.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
You've arrived at the objective. Your target should be somewhere in that outpost. And don't forget, he has a Spetsnaz recon detail with him. Keep your guard up. That searchlight's manually operated.
Plenty of grapevines there. They're not bearing fruit, but they'll still provide good cover. That's communications equipment used by the outpost CP. It must be how they keep in touch with headquarters. If you destroy it, you might be able to cut off the CP from their HQ.
incoming too. Roger that. Those materials have already been processed. It may not be much, but we can use them straight away if you bring them back to base. as any other now. If you have to shoot, be careful. Situations with support fire is needed, and you can use flare grenades to indicate the objective directly.
Осмотр сектора завершен! Осмотр завершен!
КП, это зона 7! Мы осмотрели сектор, ничего не нашли. Отзываем поиск. Прием!
Это КП, понял. Будьте наготове. Конец связи.
The enemy's given up their search for you, but they're not giving the all clear just yet. Stay alert.
Что ж, что такое? Солдат упал!
Ау!
Всем военным кругом! Это КП! Враг атакует! Всем единицам приготовиться к бою!
Огонь! Огонь!
КП, это зона 4! Нас атакуют! Большие потери! Пошлите резервную группу! Прием!
Это КП, понял! Приказ всем группам! Отправите резервы на подкрепление! Конец связи!
Открыть огонь!
Ну сейчас потопляю! Ага! Вот тут!
That's the target. Looks like we found her.
Extraction failed.
Confirmed dead. Your objective's complete. Exfiltrate out of the hot zone by chopper or on land. Don't hang around.